Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about a crossover that we need to make happen. Yes, the crossover that must happen. Helldivers 2 and Warhammer 40k. Now I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 lately and it is absolutely amazing, and it would be really cool if we could get a crossover with 40k. Like, how would this happen? Well, pretty simple. It would be more of a cash shop thing than anything else, and it would be definitely along the lines of cosmetics. I'm not necessarily asking for anything that would change gameplay or game mechanics. So how is this going? And obviously, as you can see in the background, I've got Helldivers 2 if you haven't actually seen the game yet. The game is basically a third-person co-op shooter. So the whole point of the game is you have a galactic co-op campaign map that you can fight over planets, and you either fight the Terminids, pretty much the Tyranids, or you fight the automatons, which are basically really weird, sort of almost chaos type Necrons with units that look very much like dreadnoughts. In the background, obviously, I'm fighting bugs in this video. But yeah, so the CEO has mentioned a few times on Twitter that he would like to see crossovers. And he's also mentioned in a video that he did with an interview with PlayStation Access and he was talking about the sort of games master function that they have for the game and the galactic campaign, of how that himself and a lot of the lead developers are actual 40k and tabletop RPG players, and there's a lot of 40k inspiration when it comes to Helldivers 2. So they're players of the franchise of 40k, and they're fans of 40k, so it makes sense that that they reach out to Games Workshop and do a cosmetic crossover. Now, cosmetics is pretty much exactly what I'm asking for. I'm not expecting anything else other than cosmetics. Now, we have different armor types. So we have a light armor, a medium armor, and a heavy armor. Right now, the heavy armor isn't working as intended, so you kind of at a penalty for playing heavy armor because you don't really get the additional protection, and you just kind of move slower than everyone else, but you still look really cool. Now, how I imagine this to work is light armor. You could quite easily get a Imperial Guardsman, an Astra Militarum, Death Corps of Krieg armor skin that you buy from the cash shop. Now, the cash shop isn't like it is in Darktide, where you're paying like £15 for essentially an armor skin. That's literally pure cosmetics. In Helldivers 2, it's actually very cheap, and you can earn in-game currency that you can spend in the cash shop, so while doing missions. So you can freely play the game, earn the currency, and unlock these cosmetics that you want. The armor that and the helmet that I'm currently wearing in the video that you're seeing over the top of this is the cash shop armor. I got that armor from the cash shop and the helmet, and I earned all of that purely by playing the game. Now, it's not, even if you want to buy it, it's not excessively expensive. I think one of the sets I bought cost me £4, so it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things, to be fair. So as I imagine, you could quite easily put in 40k themed skins, armor skins, into the shop, the armor and the helmet, to basically be in there to either play for or spend straight away. And you could put in Space Marine armor on the heavy slots. You could either have them linked to certain chapters, you could have them chapter bound. It would be really cool. But that's not all. We also know that there's obviously going to be mechs coming to the game, and well, what's a mech? It's basically just a walking dreadnought. How cool would it be if you were able to get an armor skin to change your mech to look like a dreadnought? Oh my lord, it's just this has to happen. Now, either Games Workshop reaches out to these guys, Arrowhead Studios, and basically gets the ball rolling and does some form of licensing agreement, or Arrowhead Studios reaches out to Games Workshop. I think it would be a win-win for both companies and both franchises. There has been some pushback. I initially come up with this and tweeted this at the beginning of last week, and I tweeted, and in my tweet I basically put Helldivers 2 and Warhammer Official need to do a crossover. We need to make this happen. And then I tagged the CEO in the tweet as well, and got a lol out of him, and like sort of like smiley face, as though that, you know, that would be cool. And then obviously other content creators have also jumped on this as well, like Chapter Master Valrak has made his video as well. This is definitely something that I think the player base would want as a majority. There are some negative voices out there that don't want it, and like I said, I shared my tweet in social media on Facebook and got a handful of comments that were pretty, you know, not really too happy with the fact that I wanted this to happen. And I don't understand why, because it's an optional content that you buy yourself, or you can earn in game and get. It's not something that you have to do and have to have. And if you're a 40k fan and a Helldivers 2 fan, you can have this and have an absolute giggle with it. So yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do it. So I think what we should do is basically make our presence known to the developers Helldiver over on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and let them know that you want this crossover. In fact, why don't you head over to Steam and leave a Steam review, a positive Steam review, and in that positive Steam review, let them know that you want a 40k crossover, because this is the only way they're going to be able to do it, if they know that their player base wants this to happen. And that concurrently, there's about anything from 400 to 800,000 people playing this game right now. It is absolutely bonkers, and when you actually play it, you can really see why. It's probably one of the best games I have played in a long time, and it really is a 40k simulator. You are fighting what is essentially bugs, yes, Starship Troopers, but they're called Terminids, and they're pretty much not far off Tyranids, to be completely honest. And I can imagine that when the modding community get hold of this game, we will have a full-blown 40k mod with this game. It would be cool. But yes, that's it. So we're going to wrap up the video here. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out my members area. And spread the word about Helldivers 2, and let the developers know that you want a Warhammer 40k crossover, and let's make this happen so we can all run around as Space Marines and enjoy it until Space Marine 2 comes out. Goodbye.